Welcome back after Buzzer, Shahs of Sunset, Season 7, Episode 14, Reunion Part 1. You guys have no idea. We're going to find out what Mike's taste in women is. We also have a couples rehash therapy, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. And of course, Gigi, she has a meltdown. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Let me pull up my sleeve.
I know. I'm
Okay.
like,
Okay.
yeah.
Feeling
Put
it.
on our fifth step. Okay.
Crack my knuckles.
Okay.
Mike, we're coming for you.
Yes.
Welcome back after Buzzers. Oh my gosh, we have so much to talk about. This episode was filled with so much drama. But before we start, why don't I have my lovely hosts go ahead and introduce themselves?
Yes, we need to get started. Hey guys, my name is Mayte Carrillo.
Hey guys, it's your girl Nycole Hutchens.
Hey everyone, it's Dania Marie.
And I am your host, Cristal McLaughlin. Welcome back, you guys. Okay, so overall thoughts about this episode.
It's what I expected and more.
Ooh.
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it served.
It
The
did.
plate was
Yes.
served. The first 5 minutes, I was like, wow, I don't think I was this drawn in any episode this season as I was watching this reunion.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Not a dull moment. Not a dull
Definitely.
moment. So
Definitely. I felt like the entire episode, there was drama throughout it, which is great for us, right?
Yeah.
Not good for them, but definitely good for us. We start off with a little bit of, I don't know, what it seemed like they were kind of ganging up on Mike, right? About him and his history with women and his taste in women. And, you know, for good reason, because, I mean, Mike is sort of, I don't know, coming off as like a pig.
I don't know. Yeah.
So we start off the episode with Mike having a conversation about Mona, and really him and Nima are really going into it. And I was really surprised, like, you know, we see a side of Nima where he's like sort of timid and he's sort of nice, but I really liked this side of Nima. I was like, heck yes. Thank God he was sticking up for his sister Mona, as he should.
I like that.
Wasn't that great, ladies?
Yeah.
I know that Mike had said something about they were going back into an episode where they had a date and he had mentioned something about Mona having a chipped nail.
oh my gosh.
And, you know, if a guy puts down a woman like that, what does that say about him? I mean, what do you ladies think about a man putting you down on a date? But supposedly it wasn't a date.
Right.
So.
Yeah. No, I would have walked away.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You would have walked.
Yeah, I would have.
For sure. It just reminded me why Mike is still single and just can't find anyone he's compatible with. He's just way too picky and he's just ridiculous and over the top. So yeah, that's how I feel about that.
You said it. Yep. Honestly, I am so glad that Nima was able to really stand up for Mona, and the entire time he was just like, "You're not going to talk about my sister that way," and then the whole situation of him bringing up the fact of her nail was chipped. I'm like,
Awful.
Yeah. Really? You're gonna look at the material stuff? You're gonna look at like her exterior instead of looking what's inside? I know that
Right.
sounds really cheesy, but like at his point in his life, like, really, you're gonna be this immature? Like, he really disappointed me watching this episode, and I really thought, like, okay, I know we had probably given him a shot in the last time we were
right.
chatting,
Definitely.
Yeah.
and even Dania had like in her predictions how like he's
yeah.
gonna change. He's like a really good guy.
I'm taking that back.
I looked at Dania and I was like, you better take it back.
I am. 100%.
So disappointed in him and how he brought down Destiny and told her to shut up.
Yeah, that
it
was so many
he was
disappointing
so,
moments.
so rude, so over the top. I'm like,
Obnoxious is the word I'd like to
yes,
say.
I
Obnoxious.
don't like this side of him. And if he's
Definitely
doing this
not.
for viewership, like I'm not a fan.
Well, I think this has always been who Mike is.
Yeah.
And I
I
think
don't
he
think it's-
has been trying to change his ways. But, a duck is a duck is a duck. You know what I mean? And definitely, he's quacking. I wrote down something that he said, and it was like he is trying to deflate her ego, right? He's saying that he respects women. And, I don't know any man that respects a woman and takes her out, and even if it was a friend, you wouldn't like nitpick at something like that. To me, that shows complete insecurity.
Absolutely.
And it basically shows me that he's immature and he's not emotionally ready to be in any type of relationship whatsoever, which is why I was so happy that Destiny took the time to be like, oh, I need to work on myself and do my stuff and be happy with myself before I get into a relationship. And then she pointed at him. Yes, Destiny.
Destiny's clapbacks were
Yeah,
good.
her clapbacks
I
were
was feeling
definitely
her vibe
good.
too this whole reunion.
Absolutely. I also have here, they talked about how he was upset because she did not compliment him.
Yeah.
What would you do if you went on a date with somebody who was offended by the fact that you didn't compliment them? Don't you think that's ridiculous?
Absolutely, in true narcissistic fashion. That's just not. I bring that up a lot, you guys, but he really is. I
Put
feel
the
like
gloves
he's a
on, girl. Put the
poster
gloves on.
Right? I feel like he's the poster child for it. Like, it just reminds me how shallow he is. And I honestly don't think he's going to change anytime soon. I think he's going to have a coming to Jesus moment before he changes. So.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because they said that apparently when he met, timeline-wise, when he met Morgan or Mona, he was already talking to Mona, right? Or wait,
he was
sorry.
talking to Morgan.
He was talking to Morgan.
Yeah.
Sorry, the M's.
Yeah, I know.
He was already talking to Morgan before he met Mona, and then he saw like an upgrade, and then once he realized like she was gonna play to his like rules, he got hooked up with Morgan and then like dumped Mona because he felt like she was too high maintenance.
Yeah.
But like, let's just be honest here. She didn't deny that these are the things that she wants in her life. And, I don't think it's right for him to disrespect her just because they don't agree on like what they want in their life. I'm thoroughly disgusted with him, and yeah, there's no coming back from this. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, I think he was extremely intimidated by
Yeah.
Mona, and he realized that it was just too much work, and he was going to have
He's
to
not
put
used
in
to it.
too much. That he was like, no, I'm not trying to deal with this. Instead of like looking and seeing her worth. And in all honesty, I don't really think Mona would have. She might have been like attracted to him, but I don't think she would have entered into a relationship with
No,
him
she's too smart.
because it's like it just doesn't make any sense for him. And then he even said it, and Reza gave like the Cliff Notes version of it, and he's like, well, because Mona didn't pay attention to him, that's why he went to something that was there and available and was willing to be with him, which was Morgan. But then that makes Morgan look like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
nothing.
Oh, man, I still feel bad for Morgan. Like this whole situation with Mike, she's always just been like the person on the side for him.
Yeah.
Like she's never been his priority for anything.
No, because like Nycole said, he's a narcissist. It's
Yeah.
all about him. He's only fulfilling a void in his life right now, and he's not happy with himself. So he's never going to find love because no real woman who is of quality is ever going to put up with any type of that behavior.
But I give props to Morgan for recognizing that and leaving.
Oh, yeah, and then
Oh,
leaving.
100%.
Yeah, that was really
100%,
good of
especially
her.
because she's young.
Yeah.
So she could have stayed around like some of these other young broads, but like she didn't. She picked up her bags and was like, yo, you're not treating me the way I like. I'm going to, I'm going to get going.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, I feel like Mike is sort of the poster child for the modern day man in the dating world.
In
Because
LA
you brought
specifically.
in LA, exactly, in LA specifically. And like you said, it's like he met Mona and realized it was going to be too much work. It was going to be too much effort to win her affection. And I don't know about you ladies, but in my dating experience, I've noticed that a lot of men are acting like Mike in
Yes.
that
Oh,
sense.
100%.
It's like if you bring some type of expectation, respect me, be considerate of me. It's like, oh no, I'm gonna fall back and I'm
Yes.
gonna find an
So
easy
guys
ride.
are lazy.
Yeah,
Yes.
crazy. I don't understand
Or
that.
they will see that you have something going for yourself and that you're
Yeah.
like determined to do something, and
Right.
they're like, whoa, no, I don't know how to deal with this because I've dealt with something so easy in the past.
Right.
Yeah.
So then they just let it go.
Right.
Right.
We are dropping
Right. Okay.
jewels tonight.
So funny. Really
was
quickly,
me.
I'm just gonna say I went on a date on Monday, and there was this guy who just like from the get just sat down, was like, "I'm so fat, I'm so this, I'm so that," and I was just like, "Yo."
He was
like,
waiting. No,
He
you're
was
not.
waiting for the compliment and kept going on and on and on about it, and then was like, I don't know, like he was attentive in some ways, but also I was just like, okay, first of all, why are you trying to tickle me between my arm and my breastises? Like
that's just
that's
a whole nother
weird.
level.
that's just gross.
Yeah.
It was just like total douchebag. I don't know. It was not good. And I hate to
You
say
and
it, but
these
he
dates,
was
Crystal.
I hate to say this. I'm not generalizing, but he was Persian. So I don't know.
You know what?
I don't know.
I'd be so curious to know what Morgan thinks after watching the entire season, after watching the
so good.
interviews. And I want to, not that I would care about Jessica, but I don't want to include her. But I wonder what's going on in her
Me
mind.
too.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean, her name is still dropped so many
I
times.
mean, Mona, yes.
Yeah.
I don't really care
Yeah.
for Jessica. Also, we discuss. Well, you know what? Because I had a run-in with her one time. She was really rude to me.
Oh,
so,
Jessica.
Yeah,
There's-
yeah, Jessica.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
at
not-
my job.
I'm not
So
surprised.
I'm good. So, anyways, so Mike, also they discuss what Mike's type is, and it's big boobs, very voluptuous, big butt, and Reza said long hair down to the tramp stamp, sexy clothing. I thought in my head, porn star. Did you ladies think that too?
I did it only because he pointed out a person in the room who he actually likes, and he used MJ as an example. He's like, I like, someone like MJ who looks like MJ. So he pointed her out, and that's what came
But
to
have
mind.
we seen him with anyone like MJ?
No.
Exactly.
No,
so I'm just
Which
like,
I
what
thought
are
was
you
weird.
doing?
Yeah,
I
I
didn't get
thought
that part
was
He
weird.
was just trying to get her to back him up, and so he's stroking her ego. Come on, MJ knows better than that. She knows what was going on. That's why she was kind of had a smirk on her face.
Yes,
she
she
knew.
did.
She
Well,
knew.
they were
She's
complimenting.
dumb.
They were complimenting
compliments,
her.
yeah,
And I'd sit there too, and I'd be like, "Thank you." Yeah.
So, were you ladies as surprised as I was when they were discussing how he has been sending texts to Morgan about working this out?
To Mona.
What? I mean,
Yeah.
Wait, I'm so
what?
bad with the name.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
Mona,
So,
isn't that crazy?
Yes, I forgot about that.
Are you surprised by that?
No.
No?
No. I still, like, he's just trying to, like, feed his ego still. And for him, it's like,
The rejection.
yeah, the rejection, the one that got away. So he's like, let me give it one more shot, which is what he said. Let's give this a shot.
Yes.
Fire
I
emoji.
think you know what? I'd have to see the text, and I'd have to see what time this was sent. Because this makes sense if it was sent like at night. This sounds like something that he would do.
True.
Where it's like, hey,
But why would
he's
it
in
be
his
different?
feelings.
Why would it be different if it was day or night? Either way,
There's a
he's
huge
denying.
difference.
He's denying it though.
No, the fact that he sent it.
But they said that he sent multiple, right?
I actually am
Well-
surprised.
Okay,
that
so
he did.
apparently they've been texting, and he claims that it's as friends. But then this one text that they said,
Yeah.
it said,
Was it
"Let's
just
give
one?
this."
I understood it
I
was, like,
believe
more.
Nima said it was one,
Okay.
where it said, "Let's give this a shot."
And it was like a month. I heard it was like a month after or something like that. So was he like talking to Morgan still?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this guy's Morgan's been in the
gosh.
picture since like before
Poor
Mona
Morgan.
was in the Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I want to know what she thinks about all of
Right.
it.
Yeah.
That'd be nice to know.
That would be nice to know. Morgan, call us. Yeah, so moving on, I would love for Dania over there, the beauty, to read our live feed.
That jewelry.
Yes, stop in tonight.
I can't prepare for the Shahs. Hey, AfterBuzzers, our network produces after shows for nearly all your favorite TV shows. From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there is no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments and we'll thank you on air. For now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV Talk.
Yay! Thank you. So now we have them sitting down with Adam. It seems like they're rehashing like old stuff that was happening during the show, whether it was construction or the children that he wants, and then also MJ and Tommy, and I mean there was just a lot of like couple stuff going on. Even they like brought up Destiny's dating life. I have to be honest, I feel like I'm over that whole scenario of like what's happening with the couples, right? Because it's not anything new. I mean, MJ said that she was going to sleep with other people on 2 different occasions, but it was like, it's MJ. You can't really take her that serious. I don't think she would have done that anyways. Do you ladies think that she would have done that?
No, and then she also mentioned I was like in the vibe of like bachelorette and like drinking, and so I definitely think that was just a part of her mood in the moment.
Yeah. 100%. What about you?
Yes. Well, all I'm going to say is that you guys are going to say, I hope she was just kidding. I believe she was.
No,
yeah,
she
she was
totally
just in the
was.
moment. Yeah.
She totally was.
She's like, yes. I also agree. I think she was in the moment. But Tommy was just like, if I were to say, Tommy was like, if I were to say that, she would have been like livid.
Yeah, well,
so
absolutely.
upset.
No, absolutely.
So and you can tell by his eyes, he was like giving the eyes to everybody else. He's like, I'm not getting.
I love his honesty though.
No, totally.
Yeah.
And she apologized. So, you know, in MJ fashion, she doesn't do that often. So take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So also, Adam and Reza are still going back and forth about like the inconsistencies in their relationship. Do you know, the word divorce got thrown out. You know, by Reza. Were you ladies surprised by that? Because I definitely was. I've always felt like they're the couple that are going to stay together forever. What do you think? Do you think that they'll get a divorce, or do you think they'll be able to like work on the issues that they have?
I think it's always a possibility.
Ooh.
And I say that just because no one's exempt from that, no matter how much you love a person. There's just some things that a lot of individuals will not tolerate in a relationship, you know, or in this case, a marriage. And Reza has made it very clear about, you know, them being partners, you know, in every aspect of the relationship. And, you know, when we watched the last week's, I think it was last week's episode, you know, he was just talking about, you know, you have to pull your weight, because what it sounded like to me was that Adam was sort of like a sugar baby almost. That's what it seemed like to me. So, yeah, I think it's, when he throws that word out there, I think what he's saying is, don't think that that's not a possibility.
Yeah. And I think MJ even like confirmed that. Like she was like, oh yeah, he's always been the breadwinner. Like she really had Reza's back. I mean, those two, you don't mess with those two.
That became very clear.
Sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't, oh shoot, I just lost my train of thought. But let me just say, Kimberly, who's on our live chat right now, says MJ has wanted to be his wife for so long that I couldn't see her really doing it. On the other hand, self-sabotage is a real thing. And she said either way it was in poor taste and unfair to Tommy.
Yeah,
so just wanted to add
I
that
agree.
there.
But after seeing their wedding, I don't know if that's the biggest issue here.
So this is what I was gonna say. The whole thing about their divorce, I feel like this was brought up last season too, and he's thrown this divorce word out, and it's always been Reza who's brought it out, not Adam.
Yeah.
So, and I could tell as like Reza was talking about this, you can see Adam's eyes watering, and it looked like he was
Did you see
holding
he
back.
got really pale?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Like I kept thinking, oh.
Which is
he
why I
looks
think
really
he's
pale.
so willing to cooperate with they're doing therapy now, or they said, right? He's willing to do the therapy and he's willing to make it work. And even when Reza was like, I want a divorce, he said, hold up. Let's see if we can talk to someone first before I even say yes, or we even think about separating. So I think he genuinely very, very loves Reza.
Yeah.
But he wants to like make it work. He knows that there's problems, and he's kind of already saying that, yes, I did do that. But I think I don't know. I feel like they could get a divorce, but I think that they're going to be able to push through.
Well, Adam also mentioned that it was because he was too busy working.
That's why
And
now
he
I
had
got
a busy schedule
Yeah.
that he wasn't making time for Reza.
And we were just discussing that we thought it was money
It was money, yeah.
and it was time.
but it was time. And that Reza doesn't think.
after time.
So that's what I'm saying.
too
Like,
good.
so what is it? They're being so unclear as to
It's
what
still
the
What does
unclear to
Adam
me.
do again?
I think
He works on set. He works on set.
He works on set. Okay, as just a production assistant, or
I thought he
No.
did editing.
I just know he works on
oh,
set.
okay,
I don't
editors
remember.
make good money.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Those are
I
long
mean,
hours.
Yeah, very long.
Yeah, those
trust me,
those
I work
are
on set.
long hours.
You ain't got no life.
I mean, Reza's still the breadwinner in this
Yeah.
in this picture, and it was a joke.
Why-
I was thinking in my head when she was saying that Adam really loves Reza and he's trying to work it out and everything. And in my head, I was thinking, yeah, he's trying to keep that bag secured. But I'm just joking. I know you guys love each other.
No, my thing is, it's like, you know, if it is a money thing, and you know, Reza is always working with Mike about, you know, working on these projects to make money. Why doesn't he just show Adam and they can build a business together and like,
That's
I
a
love
very
that.
good point.
yeah, like
That
I've
is-
thought
yeah.
about this the entire time. I haven't voiced it because I was like, well, maybe that's not the love that he has. But like, if you love someone, then maybe you're willing to like take a little break and then step back and like try something different to make the marriage work.
You know what? You bring up such a great point because Reza could have easily brought him into his ideas and they could have both grown
Collaborating.
together.
Yeah.
And if he wanted to get into this hair care line, he could have been like, hey, Adam, okay, you might have, I don't know, $1,000 in your savings. Adam could have been like, I want to be part of this with you. I'll put in the
Agreed.
$1,000. And that's just what makes you grow.
Yeah.
So maybe
So are you
Such a great
saying
point.
that
You
Adam
do too,
should
girl.
approach Reza with that type of idea, or Reza should be approaching
No, it should
Adam?
be both. It
Yeah,
should
they
come
both-
So
from
I
both.
think Reza should have just told Adam from the beginning.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Because it's like if you're not making as much money as your significant other is making, you always want to make sure that you feel like you're incorporating into their successes and
Yeah,
that you're adding on
absolutely.
to
Right.
each other because at the end of the day, you just want to grow.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a partnership.
It is a
And you're
partnership.
married.
Yeah.
Why not?
Absolutely. Yeah. So hopefully.
Ooh, I got hot.
Ooh, girl. Ooh.
Yes.
Well, hopefully, you know, if they watch this, you know, hey, take that idea, you know. So now we're gonna move on. Not it's same thing, couples, but I was really surprised that Destiny and Gigi were going at it. It came out of left field. Destiny was having a, you know, conversation with Mike, and then Gigi just like intercepted and was like, yo, you know what? You don't tell us anything about your private dating life. Why is that? Why are you always in the middle of our stuff? What did you think about that? Like, whoo, that came out of left field.
Is she ready to comment on
Okay.
that?
Go in, my
Go in, Mayte. Go in,
went.
Mayte.
She went in on Destiny, and I did not appreciate
No,
that.
I didn't either.
Because Destiny was like, okay, tell me, what was it?
Mm-hmm.
That one time? That doesn't count. Like,
Yeah.
no.
No.
I love her sarcasm. She's just like, you know, she just.
She's got full control of
Yeah,
herself.
she does. That's what I
does.
love about
Yeah.
her. Yeah. So I felt like it was classic on her end. So yeah,
Nothing could break Destiny.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No. She
Or
can't.
so far.
My question is though, why is she coming for her? Why is Gigi coming for Destiny? I don't understand. Like that came out of nowhere.
I don't know, but it seems like everyone who's sort of new and not like super original to the group still gets attacked. Nima's still getting attacked. So is Destiny. And I think we're just going to continue to see that until they get into the safe place within the group.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
You know what I liked was when Tommy said to Destiny, well, because Mike told her, Mike made a comment saying that, like, well, you've never had a boyfriend. And Tommy was like, she's had lovers. That was my favorite part.
I
of the
did love
night.
that.
Yeah.
I love Tommy. He's
I know
so
his
cute.
jokes always like lighten up the mood.
Yeah.
You know,
he
Mike seems to be really obsessed
Sour?
sour and just seems to be obsessed with Destiny's love life. Like it's like, why are you so pressed about her?
because he wants to be he wants to be pressed up against her.
Oh
man.
yeah, that's right.
Mm.
We need to honk there.
So now we're gonna move on with Gigi. What happened? Gigi had a complete meltdown, you guys. I could not believe how much she was like just sort of like all over the place. When she was talking, you could tell her mouth was really dry. So I was like thinking to myself, either she's got a lot of anxiety and that's causing her, as my mouth is dry. I'm not, I'm not hard. She has a very dry mouth. So I kept thinking to myself, she has to be high because she came at everybody with like this hostility and this like, I don't know, just this very nervous energy and, ready to like hit someone. Like it kind of made me feel like, wow, okay, this is going back to like old Gigi when she used to have the knives and she'd get all crazy and stuff. Like we haven't seen that in a while. And I was really disappointed to see that. It started off with her and MJ her talking to MJ about how MJ comes at her and how she comes at MJ because MJ comes at her. Do you think that do you think MJ and Gigi are ever gonna like learn to have civil like relationship, I guess, if that's what you want to call it? Because I don't see that being healthy in the long run for either one of them, mostly Gigi.
Well, I think MJ said you have to be sober in order for you to understand where I'm coming from. So I think, no, I don't think there's going to be a point where they're both going to be understanding towards one another because Gigi is like a ticking time bomb.
Ooh,
like you just don't know when she opened that door to Destiny, I mean, it was just crazy. But before we get into
the veins in her neck, you guys, like
it was like crazy. We have Lizzie D saying, I felt bad for Gigi just because she's had it in with Reza in the past didn't mean him and MJ had to invite Shalom's ex or whatever. That was just random, weird, and cruel. So that has a lot to do with it too.
I do sometimes feel like Gigi can just be surrounded by all of them. So I did for a slight moment feel for her in this reunion part, the part one. I think that especially MJ, for some reason, I feel like I know this season has been all about her mostly, but I feel when they use the comparison to what she did to Asa last season, that's when I was like, you're right. She did do that. And now she seems to be like the queen of the group.
Of course.
And it's like, I do feel like bad for Gigi. I felt what she was feeling.
Yeah, it's so funny because later on, I don't know if we're gonna show this part, but I have some stuff a video that I want to show. And in that interview, which is about 15 minutes long, we're not gonna play the whole thing. You guys have to watch it because Gigi talks about that specifically about MJ being sort of like the matriarch of the entire group and she just. So I get it. I do also agree with you. Like Gigi, I feel really bad for her because like she is a ticking time bomb and she's allowing these people to make her go to that place. And so she needs to really control herself. She can't control anybody else. She can only control herself.
Yeah.
And smoking weed before you go on the reunion is not the thing.
That was not good.
Do not do that, girlfriend.
Well, they were showing too that last season, which I don't remember seeing that they had to call EMT.
They did.
Yeah.
Because she was she was too high. And so they were advising her this time. They were like, "Can you please not get as high as you did last reunion?"
High, I love that.
Or no, they were like, "Just don't smoke whatsoever."
Yeah.
Which she did.
She did.
We saw her Woo-Saw containers in her room when Destiny went in.
She's going through something, you guys, internally.
Definitely.
Well, she's trying to numb it.
She said that Shalom had sent, or his lawyer had sued her again for twice.
Yeah.
For I guess some cast members claimed that Gigi was talking smack about him, like really bad things.
There's more to Gigi's story that we don't know yet.
Yeah, definitely. And in the interview that you guys should watch, they also bring up how MJ said that the minute that she smelled Shalom, she was like, he's a fame whore. So, I think from the get, that's how she felt about him. And I think that's like what is being kind of like said about him. This is all what I saw on the show, so don't sue me, Shalom. So when Destiny ended up going into the room to kind of console Gigi, Gigi said something about Destiny being turned up, and she was nowhere near that. And I just felt like Gigi was really losing it, and you know, her mental state was really on the line. I felt for her. I really did, because you know, when you already have issues, and you know, we'll bring more stuff up in that I'm telling you guys have to watch that episode that I'm about to pull up. But you know, she talks about, like, you know, old drug habits and so on and so forth. You feel for her, because you know, she's trying to make her life work, and I'm very proud of her for, you know, starting her own line of medicinals. But you know, she's trying, you know, she's really trying. And I hope that, you know, she watches this episode again, and she like learns from it rather than like repeating this history, because this is not doing her any good. Did you ladies feel like Destiny was out of pocket? Or?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Yeah,
She definitely went with good intentions.
definitely.
And she got attacked, which was
Yeah.
unnecessary. But I think in Gigi's state, it was a given that was going to happen.
Yeah.
At that point, I realized, like, yeah, Gigi's high for sure.
Yeah.
Like, Destiny did not come at her like, you know, how did she describe it? Gigi described it like, you're coming at me all
So aggressive.
so aggressive.
You're,
Yeah,
like,
and she
at a
wasn't aggressive
high.
at all. Like,
Yeah.
Destiny was really trying to console her, like you said, and
I
Gigi
feel-
just
yeah.
took it the wrong way.
I feel like Destiny is a good friend for
100%.
Gigi because she knew how to level her down.
Oh my God,
did.
so good.
Because
So
it's
much
like,
patience.
yeah, because it's sometimes when someone comes at you that way, I know for me, I tend to like get to that level, and then I have to
Escalates.
say, yeah, and then I have to think to myself, no, let's
Yeah.
chill.
We
Like-
all needed Destiny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. She is
Yes.
Destiny. They did sort of like bring up something about her possibly dipping in the other pond. Were you ladies surprised about Destiny dipping in the other pond?
Nope.
I was
I'll be
waiting
the
for
first
it.
one to say it. Nope. I just had this feeling, this inkling. I don't know what you call it. The
What
gaydar
was
or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was paying attention to
Nycole
how
Dar.
there we go.
There you go.
I was just really paying attention to how she was interacting with a lot of the female castmates.
who?
For example, I can't remember what episode it was, but it was Gigi. Yeah, and it was at her
At her house?
her reveal party for Wusa or whatever. You know how she's like, "Oh, you look so beautiful," blah blah blah, and you guys didn't catch this, but it was like low key the camera, like her arm kind of reached. I'm sorry, I'm just using you as an example. Okay, she was like reaching kind of below her, like, "Oh, bet," you know. I was like, I was like, yeah.
I saw that too, but I've had friends who were that. My
Yeah,
ex-best friend was that
Touchy-feely?
touchy,
Yeah,
and
some
I was
people are like
so
that.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, some people are affectionate, but it was just the body language. I was just paying attention. I was just like, yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
You're on point, girl.
I didn't see it.
Me
neither.
No.
I overlooked that because Destiny's always so loving and like caring and supportive and giving compliments. So I just overlooked it.
Yeah. Nycole was like, I knew it.
Yeah, she totally was. She's on point. Okay, so now let's do special segments, you guys.
Ooh.
So I figured,
We're making up our own music right now.
Okay.
so I figured like we could do like what was your like favorite best dress, or like whatever you feel like you want to say about each cast member or a cast member.
Let's let Mayte go
Go,
first.
Mayte.
Her face.
I think I liked what Mike was wearing. I don't like him, but
It was nice.
I liked his fit. I think he looked very
Dapper.
dapper. That's a great word to use. And he looked very put together. And he looked like he got a nice manicure too, since we're looking at nails. But yeah, he was the one that
There
really
was no
stood out.
chips. Are you sure there was no chips?
I mean, didn't have like a little microscope to look or zoom in, but I mean, from what I saw, no.
He would love to hear you say that right now, by the way.
I know, that's why I didn't want to say it, but that it just stood out to me, you know?
I'm going to talk worst dress for me, and that was Gigi. I'm sorry. I like Gigi, but her dress just looked kind of cheap.
Oh,
Sorry.
Tacky. Yeah, I agree.
So I didn't really have that much of a favorite outfit, but I did like Reza's outfit because he always pulls out the color, and I love that. But I had a favorite makeup, and I think that was, for some reason, I always like Gigi's eyeshadow.
Yes.
I don't know if it's like the lashes she wears or like the eye
Something.
shape
Yeah, her
or something.
eyeshadow was on
Everything.
point. Yeah.
It just looks good.
Yeah.
And I liked Destiny's eyeshadow too. It was like a kind of like silver, looked like kind of like it was diamond.
Sparkly.
Like, yeah.
Sparkly, yeah.
And I
totally
don't really
that
like
too.
silver, but she pulled it off really
Yeah,
well.
no, totally. Very Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say same thing. I loved Rez's outfit. I thought it was so cute. And then what did he call himself? Remember?
70s something.
Yeah, 70s.
Oh, yeah.
You
I
remember?
slightly, yeah, I can't remember the exact words.
I should have
but-
written it down, but I thought his description of himself was so hilarious. So yeah, kudos to you, Reza, for doing that. Also, you guys, I just wanted to share that we are on Spotify. You can find us on iTunes. Please comment, like, subscribe. You can also catch us in the live feed. You can always comment after. We love hearing from you guys, and you know, it really does help when you guys rate us. You know, we really appreciate it. So I hope you go over there and you do it. So, news. We have some news, you guys. Let me pull this up right now.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Yes. Oh, look at that. Mona just hearted us.
What?
Yeah. Look,
Yay.
she just hearted us.
Yay.
Yay.
Shout outs to Mona.
Okay, so you guys, I found this article. I believe it was on People. Yes, it was on people.com. And it was about Gigi. She reveals that she started using drugs at 11 years old, which I was like super surprised about. I just couldn't believe somebody at that age could be using cocaine and marijuana. The marijuana maybe, but cocaine, yeah.
Wait, so
Yeah.
she said what type
Coke
of
at
drug?
11?
Yes. She said basically, hold on one second. Here the article says that she had been battling drug addiction in her adolescence, and that she goes, I have a big drug past, massive drug past. The Shahs of Sunset star said during a sit-down interview on E, just the sip, which that's the video we will be showing you a portion of. She says, I started at 11 years old. Years later, she sought professional help, checking into rehab, April 2005. That's a long time ago. And this isn't the first time she's checked herself in, by the way. It was quite some time. It was almost 14 years I was using. Reflecting on her past, the Bravo star admitted that the weed and cocaine were amongst the drugs she used. I haven't gone back to those hard drugs that I did do. I don't want to scare anyone. I didn't do heroin or crack. I was born and raised in LA, baby, you know. And so she goes on and on about that in her interview, but she also talks about how like she used the fact that she was first generation. She would tell her parents like, oh well, my American friends' parents let them do these things, and I'm from what I understand, her parents allowed her to, which is really kind of scary to think about that. She also, we're not going to show certain parts in the episode, so I'm just going to run down some of the things I thought were really important. She talks about the most difficult cast member being MJ. She talks about hooking up with Mike.
That happened.
She said something like, it didn't really happen, just the tip. Okay. She talks about why she stayed with Shalom, how he's suing her now. He's a fame whore. MJ smelled it. And that she will never get married again. She kept the ring, you guys, which is great. Hopefully she can put that to use on something.
On a house.
And then, yeah, exactly. And then she also talks about RA. Maybe she can donate that to RA. Who knows? Maybe she can do a good deed. Giving back is always good. She said her mom was the one that got her smoking weed because I guess the medication she was using for the RA is like really harsh. And it is. It really is. So her mom was like, you know what? Maybe you should turn to, medicinal. So that's how she started smoking weed again. So let's go ahead and watch the video.
Parents or divorced parents, it doesn't make the child any better or less. I think it's just the values that are taught to the child that matter. And I think I'm in a place to give that. I have a big drug past. Massive drug past. When I started when I was 11 years old. Okay.
How massive are we talking? Are we talking like you did it every time you went to Coachella? Or are we talking like you were consistently from 11 to what age?
I checked into rehab in 2005. So I was, it was quite some time. It was almost 14 years I was using. And April 2005 was when I checked in. So I haven't gone back to those hard drugs that I did do. I don't want to scare anyone. I didn't do heroin or crack or, I was
Recreational.
I was born and raised in LA, babe. It's cocaine and weed. That was the way it went.
Wait, let me back up for a minute, because you said you started dabbling at 11.
Yeah.
And that was part of your journey. How does an 11-year-old hide something like that from their parents?
I was first generation. So the easiest mechanism for me and my sister to our parents was, our American friends, parents let them do it. And my parents were like, oh,
Crazy.
So they didn't want to be wrong as like that. They're too strict on us. So everything was like, our American friends' parents let them do it.
And you got away with it.
Got away with everything. And then, it was, it was a pretty much low dive, very, very, very long low dive at the age of 11 for me for quite some time.
What was your breaking point when you knew that you had to turn this around? Because to me, it seems like it's all happening for a reason. Like there's
2 years ago, I think the breaking point just happened for me, I think. And I hope that was it, because I think I was at my lowest. I think I was at that point where I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep going anymore.
When it comes to timelines, I like to go by seasons. What season did you realize?
Wow.
Isn't that crazy, you guys? Like, this interview was really good, actually. Like, I highly recommend you guys watching it.
He's so great,
it's
too.
just the sip. You guys have to watch it. So good. Why don't we go ahead and say our predictions?
Oh, okay.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Yes. Okay,
Kind
I'll
of
go
mindset.
Oh, okay. I'll break the ice. Predictions. Maybe it's not really a prediction, but I feel that the world will officially know what team Destiny is playing on. She's going to come out the closet. That's what I'm predicting. She's going to come out the closet.
All right. What about you, Dania?
I feel like so many of these situations are predictable, especially Mike's, because what's going to happen to Mike? I mean, he's just going to continue with his habits. He's probably not going to find someone for a while, and I hope that he doesn't so that he can fix himself. So it's not really a prediction. It's more like I know what's coming.
I agree with Nycole. I have the same prediction with Destiny, and I think that she will know exactly where she stands. And I hope she sets Mike straight, because I know he was the one that started the rumor about her.
I predict Mona's going to come out and smack Mike around. I hope she does. That's what I'm hoping for. Come on, Mona.
He'd love it.
He would. Oh yeah, he probably would love it. But yeah, I hope she puts him in his place. I hope she really puts him in his place.
I wish Mona would come on.
I know, Mona. We're trying to get you on here.
I think we have been.
Yeah, we've been trying to get her on here.
You have been.
Yeah. She's a little busy right now, but hopefully, maybe at some point, even if after the show ends, maybe we can bring her on. We'll look at her schedule and reach back out to her again.
That'd be awesome.
Definitely.
We still need to try to get Gigi on.
There's so many members that we want to get on. But I reached out to MJ and hopefully she is working her magic and trying to get those cast members on so we can talk to them and get all the tea. So, ladies, will you please tell everybody where they can find you?
Hey everyone, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Dania Marie, and you can find me on all social media at Dania Marie 9.
Hey guys, as always, it's good to be back on Thursday nights. You can follow me at The Real Nycole, and that's Nycole with the Y.
Hey guys, I'm Mayte Carrillo. You can find me everywhere at This Is Mayte, and you can also find me Real Housewives of OC Monday nights at 8 o'clock. We have 2 special guests coming in this Monday that you don't want to miss out.
And I'm Cristal McLaughlin. You can find me on all social media at Cristal823. That is with an I, not with a Y. And you can find me on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock for Will and Grace. Mayte is also on that. And so, I guess we're going to be signing out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again. And I hope you guys tune in next week. Comment in the live feed. And then we'll get back to you. And I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.